Hello and welcome back to Seaside Garage. This is my Citroen XM 24 valve. Whew. I'm still realizing that I own this one because it's giving me both a lot of joy, but also a fast-growing anxiety about the future. This is gonna give some sleepless nights, that's for sure. But what I want to do in this video is to change the dreaded suspension domes up here. They work just fine currently. The thing is, when they don't work anymore, they will just let go, punch the bonnet, making it dent up and completely just fall on the suspension at the front end. I doubt that is very nice to experience on the road. This is capable of 235 kilometers per hour. I think I'm not going to drive that fast, but even slower than that is probably not a fun experience to have the front suspension collapse. So I'm going to change those. These are known failure points. They will fail at some point. You cannot get them new. So even if you find new ones, they will be very old and the problem could be just around the corner still. But Elastomer rebuilds them. And I got a set of those. And here they are, nicely painted. They look quite nice. What you do is to remove your old ones and send that unit to Elastomer and they will recondition it. These are modified and improved over the original design. If these fails, they will sort of wedge themselves so it won't fall all the way apart, which is a very nice thing because this feels like a ticking bomb. At some point it will fail, fall apart. So if this fails, it won't be catastrophic at least. Of course, it's very important to get the right ones. There are different diameters for the piping and so on. So measure twice. And then contact Elastomer. There's a link down in the description. I can vouch for the quality of these and the delivery time is very fast, so that's also very nice. Let's go ahead and install this. Before I start working on removing anything, I need to depressurize the system. I do that on the pressure regulator, which is easiest to get at from beneath. Right up there, that bolt. I need to undo this. Don't remove it completely. It just needs to be loosened up to release the pressure. Like this. The pressure should now be completely off the system. Now, I don't think a hydraulic Citroen is very bad or hard to work on, but I do respect it quite a lot. And I think that's a wise thing to do. Never trust it. So even though the pressure should be released now, I'm going to be very careful opening this one because there is a lot of pressure on this system if it's not released. And also never go underneath the car, for instance, without having something to catch it in case the hydraulic system just decides to drop the car, because that can also happen. Yep, I dropped something. Let me find my trusty magnetic tool, because it didn't drop that far, I think. But the engine bay of an XM is a little bit like oblivion. Oh, I got it. There we go. Now these balls could probably need changing, but I'm not gonna change it. I'm just gonna swap it over. I plan on testing the spheres before changing them because I don't like changing stuff that works. But I need to take it off at least. I'm just using this to just lever it up ever so gently to make room for it. I think I can fit the chain around it. There we go. And I'm just going to use this for leverage. Would probably be easier to have the correct tool for this, but yeah, I got it loose, so that wasn't that bad. Yeah, it is leaking a bit. With that off, I can go ahead and release this bolt. And just to not struggle with it pulling down while I undo it, I'm just going to jack up the lower wishbone. Remember that you can now buy merchandise for Seaside Garage. XM t-shirt will come soon as well. And then I can go ahead and undo the 4 13mm balls around that tower. Just going to loop them up and take a small break to make them go off a little bit easier maybe. Just going to try with the rubber hammer, but I think it needs something a bit stronger than that. Yeah, it won't move, so I'm going to put the bolt back on so that I don't damage the thread. And then do it up so that I can give it a whack, hitting both the shaft and the bolt. Like that. Just to avoid having anything go into the pipes, that almost happened. I'm just going to put this cap in like so. And then down here I just need to remove the rubber from this. Push it all down. Yeah, oil will get out, of course. I didn't really think of that, but of course when compressing it, the oil will escape. So just gotta find something to catch it with. I just lowered down the jack also, giving me more room. And then just lift up the car a little bit more to lower down the, like so. To lower the wheel even lower. I think there should be enough room. Just about room enough to get it off. This is where it lets go and where the accident happens. Doesn't look too bad, but that is not looking good up there, so I think it's a good time to change it. There's a hole right there in the shaft that goes all the way through, so I want to align that with the holes in the strut tower. Like this. You can see the hole is climbing up there now. Right there. So I can fit this clean tool now through that hole. It goes all the way through now, this tool. That means that it is completely in line with the sphere in the end. So using the top tool, I'm just going to make sure not to put strain on the hole and tighten it all down. Like this. I can remove this and this. And I can install the line going in. Then I can go ahead and reinstall the old sphere. Yes, I might change it in the future, but I want to pressure test it firstly. A new seal, and then just spin that in. I'm just going to tighten this up like an oil filter. Tight, using the hands. Only like that. Some tighten them up a little bit using the tool. I'm just going to hand tighten them because I know that my grip is pretty strong in the rubber gloves. And the rubber gloves helps with that, especially when it's not oily. So it will be more than tight enough. And remember, I'm going to take these off soon again. Straight away, look at the difference in the height of that suspension sphere. Remember, I had to put something underneath here to get the chain tool in there. Now it's a completely different world. And then I just need to fit that protective gainer again. You might notice that the inner liner is off on this car, and I think it made this job a little easier because it made a little bit more room. I need to fit that at some point, but I'm still working on other stuff. That's why everything is a bit loose up here. That's one sphere changed, the hardest one. The next one is this one. I'm going to do that off camera. But this is how to change. This is actually not the spheres. I might have confused the wording a little bit, but this is the domes that is attached to the suspension leg with the sphere attached to it. This is a known failure point, as mentioned. It can almost wreck an XM. If you're very unlucky, it actually can, because you will crash probably. Elastomer provides these. They are not very expensive. Fitting those will take the worry away. They also improved on the design, so it's way less likely to happen. It's an easy job to do. Also, it's not very complicated. Remember to depressurize the system. But other than that, it's pretty simple. When I've changed this one over here, I need to nip up that depressuring valve on the regulator. Then I need to add the amount of LHM that came out of the system, top it up. Then I need to put it in high, low, high, low, high, low a couple of times just to get all the air bubbles out of the system, and then it should be good to go. So thank you for watching. Don't forget you can support me. There is a Patreon link down below. There is also the Elastomer link, and see you in the next one.